we're live. But as far as like just rewatching them, I can send it to you. I have it recorded because I know that we also want to post it to other places and like edit it and stuff, but also it's like the ones that I have recorded are the ones that we have like technical difficulties, and there's I don't know if we want to use those ones, you know. Also, the one that was really good that I never recorded, or I did record and the sound was messed up, you know.
Yeah, it's okay.
So here we are. We're recording. We're live. Let's do a sound check.
How do we sound check?
I'm gonna go on YouTube and listen.
And the sound was messed up, you know.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, so you guys have an echo. Let me fix that.
No.
No,
I can't hear you.
Oh, you're muted.
Shelly's
muted
herself. I didn't mute you.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't know if you said anything before.
Sorry, my bad.
I just saw her pointing and I'm like, I can't hear her.
I had a question. Can I record directly from YouTube?
I think so.
You can save the lives, right?
It won't let me go live until I have at least 10K subscribers on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah, you have to have a certain.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
But it says that, well,
crazy.
how many subscribers does Kids of Consciousness have? Because it says she's live.
You guys want to go
No, but she's live
YouTube or
through
someplace?
Streamlabs.
Facebook,
Not directly from YouTube.
The sound
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
It's
What you
weird.
can
I
do,
don't
Selena,
understand how it works. Alexa's talking, but we don't hear it.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
I can hear Alexa.
Testing.
No,
I'm gonna keep talking. Can you
look,
hear
I'll
me?
prove it to you. But also,
Yeah, I
one
can
thing
hear
you
you.
can do, Selena,
Alexa.
is
Alexa, raise 2 fingers
can
if you can
anybody
hear me.
What's happening?
We
Take
can't
that
hear
as
you.
Alexa, can you
Right now?
raise 2 fingers if you can hear me? Okay, so she can't hear me. Okay, we can't hear you, my love.
3 fingers if you can hear me.
I see her lips moving, but there's no sounds coming
got
up.
what she's saying.
You can't hear me?
She's vacuuming me. That's what I said. That's what I heard.
I see lips moving though.
I'm gonna try to read your lips.
Yeah,
There you go.
Okay.
That would have been a funny series, though. You just guess what to say.
Like,
I see
her lips moving,
but there's no sounds coming up. You can't hear me? She's vacuuming. That's what I said. Does it sound good? I think it sounds good. Lips moving though.
from here? Yeah, I think so.
I fuck with it.
Alrighty,
So
guys, that's it. Should we start?
I was trying to speak and I was getting really frustrated because I felt like you guys were like talking over me, but you really weren't just hearing me. So I was trying to say something.
And like all of our commentary. Sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. One thing you can do once it's posted, Selena, on YouTube, there's MP3 download websites where you can take the YouTube link and make it into a file on your computer, so you don't have to record it, and you can just like kind of download it from YouTube that way. I can show you.
I just find it so strange that I'm trying to think of a way, because like I would like for just this screen right here that we're on Discord to be recordable, and I just think that that's so strange. Discord does not allow.
There might also be a way for your actual laptop to record its own screen.
I've tried. It doesn't. It's a little odd. It only records in 30-second
increments. If we did this on Zoom, I think Zoom records it.
But then would it stream?
Yeah, we could stream it from either way on Streamlabs. It will stream whatever's on my screen.
What about let me see something really quick.
Sorry.
Yes, if anybody wants a kitten, there's 2 left.
Devices connection, app settings, voice and video.
I haven't done witchcraft in a while.
You know, bro, oh my god, all of my protection little knickknacks have broken. I need to make new.
Dude,
Good. That means they've worked.
Yeah, but
for
they're
real,
like
that
all
was
gone, all of them. There was my third eye. I had like a ceramic third eye. My nephew threw it when he
Shit.
was here one day. I had another evil eye somewhere that broke, and then I had a protection jar outside of my little apartment here. And one day, these guys that were coming to fix the cement on the patio last week, they decided to like start moving stuff on their own because they came super early, and they moved my protection jar, and somehow it broke. I don't know how. I just saw it in the trash.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
Yeah.
assholes.
damn. Well, in a way, it did his job.
Yeah, it definitely did. It definitely did.
Has it all happened back to back?
No, not back to back. No. Over.
Okay,
Dude, that happened with my bracelets. Like, all my bracelets that I had with evil eye, necklaces, bracelets, all of it would break, like weeks apart. It was insane.
Okay, I have too many things running. Let me close all this shit out.
I have, like nails on for once, and I don't know how to act. I'm like... Me too. Do readings with semi-done nails. I already rest them up, but, like, do readings now.
You're not allowed to have nails at work?
Well, no, I could. I just also like to, like, a lot of stuff that I do hobby-wise doesn't make sense with nails, like music or rock climbing. So, gym doesn't make sense with press-on nails. That sort of thing, but
That makes sense.
this extra this week.
So there's a
Screw
portal
my job.
tomorrow.
There's a portal?
Yeah, it's 4/4. I don't know exactly what it means, but portals mostly are for manifestation stuff. There's been a lot of like talk about just good luck and romance energy, stuff like that coming around, or just straight up manifesting
Ability
things that you
for
desire.
Pentacles.
Festivities?
I'm sorry, it cut off a little bit. I didn't hear you. What was that? Festivities?
Manifestations? I don't think I said festivities. But, I mean, just basically, like, manifesting and generating everything that you've been wishing for.
I'd love that.
Portal day is, like, keep your high vibe mindset, keep manifesting, and if something kind of, like, comes at you, try to, like, go past it. Like, it's a tester day.
Sound like my readings, my YouTube pick card readings.
Oh my god, excuse me. I've had 2 lattes today.
Mercury's going to go retrograde again on the 21st, and apparently on the 19th there's an eclipse.
There's not another
shadow right now.
What?
I thought there was another eclipse like around.
It does start on the 21st. But we're in retrograde shadow technically, I think on the 7th. So we'll start to feel it. There's a lot of there's Venus, Libra, Aquarius sign happening. It's a lot of shit.
So since we're kind of already getting into it, are we ready to officially start the show?
Yeah.
I am ready.
Ready?
And coffee.
Okay. Alrighty, everybody. Well, welcome to SafeSpace. I'm Brittnee, aka Woven Celestial.
Hi, I am Alexa, aka Kids of Consciousness.
You're gonna go first?
Yeah, sorry, save the best for last.
I don't know if you guys are in the same order that I see you in, so I'm trying to go in that order and it's not working.
I'm under her.
Hi, my name is Selena. Hi, my name is Selena, aka Sally That Girl. Welcome to Safe Space. And here's Weston, DJ Westy
I'm
West.
Weston, aka DJ West. And yeah, welcome to SafeSpace.
Ooh, safe space.
So our hostess, Alexa, aka Kids of Consciousness, does have quite a topic for us today. Alexa, why don't you take it away and let our viewers and listeners know out there what we'll be discussing today in our safe space.
Well, in light of the full moon in Libra coming up, we have all decided to speak about the moon cycles and how they affect us. The full moon, the new moon, or everything in between, the waxing and waning crescent. For the ladies out there, how that affects your menstrual cycle. For the men out there, how that affects your relationships. Does the full moon make you feel crazy? Do you manifest during the full moon more than the new moon, or is it the opposite for you? So I guess we can get started. Who wants to go first?
Oh yeah. Yes to all those
I
things.
do want to say. I know. Sorry, I wanted to ask too. So in respect to like the energetic cycles that the moon has to offer, I'm kind of curious how common it is for people's energy to correspond with that. Like I always get super, super tired around the full moon. And I don't know if that affects certain personalities or signs differently, but I don't know. How does it affect you guys with the full moon?
Personally, I am a huge believer that, especially with the sound bowls and our water intake and how the full moon is directly correlated with water and it has that
I
push
love
and
when
pull
you
with the
explain
ocean.
this.
Yes, everybody is directly affected by the moon, but also I think it depends on your health and your water intake and just everything else. If you're basically aligned to mental health, or not, maybe not even mental health, but I want to say just physical health. Say for people on a full moon, they say don't go out on a full moon. It's the crazies go out, and like yeah, some people would be out there being crazy, and I personally would think those are the ones that are the drunkards, and they're being affected by this full moon because their water is affected by the alcohol in their system.
That's interesting.
In my mind. And it could also be a whole lot of other factors too, you know, but and that's why I also feel like when we do podcasts, like let's try not to drink because we are so close to the full moon energy, especially tonight. We're two days away from it, and so we're entering into that shadow period of the full moon. How it affects me. What was the question more specifically? How that affects? Okay, I remember. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. It's okay.
I've noticed in my physical reality that as the full moon or as the moon grows into a full moon, opportunities have came to me, or I've gotten money, stuff like that. It was like a harvest of sorts. But it's kind of switching. Actually, it switched a little bit ago. It switched to where like the new moons was giving me some abundance, but now it's switching back to the full moon. I'm gonna get hopefully a pretty hefty paycheck this coming week, but I also notice sometimes my menstrual cycle. I'll get my period right on the full moon, but also like it's every 28 days, and the full moon cycle is 28 days, right?
When is it again?
When is what, my period?
The full moon.
In a couple of days.
She's like, oh, you want to know that?
I want to know that too. I want to know.
But you know,
6th, right?
Let's like, wait, what?
Isn't it the 6th?
Yes. And so females will talk about like, oh my god, I started my period on the full moon, and I've told Selena that, but then you'll have times where your period will change and it'll be more synced with the new moon, but it has to do with what you're manifesting, what that new moon or full moon is, what sign it is in, and your whole birth chart, because your birth chart wheel has all of the astrological signs in it, no matter what your sun, moon, and rising sign is, no matter what all of your 12 planets have. You still have all those 12 houses, and those are still all of the signs within you, some way, shape, or form. And so whenever the full and new moon are sitting in a different sign, yes, those affect every single buddy. In my eyes.
Do you get sleepier though on the full moon?
That was one of your questions.
Like, do you feel more drained?
I think I'm more sleepy during the new moons.
Really?
I think, because I don't know, I feel super energized right now. Like last week or 2 weeks ago, I was more tired and sad and depressed.
Interesting.
Because I feel like traditionally, or at least the overgeneralized concept was new moon was for manifestation and the full moon was for release.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too. It's
Do you get tired?
I get very exhausted. I feel super drained. I notice that I'm more heightened to emotions around me. So going out in public, I just tend to pick up on all these energies. And I know that other people feel it too. I think it makes me hyper aware of situations, feelings, and things. So I definitely feel like in general, the world feels more intense when I come to a full moon. There's more accidents.
Like, crazies are out. We're the weirdos, Misty.
I always say like the full moon must be out because every time I'm driving around, like someone's cutting me off, or people are speeding or driving recklessly. And I think that goes back to how it affects us. And it's funny because I was listening to what you guys were saying, and it matches this article here. It does say that they've done tests to see how it affects people, and they show proof that it does. It affects people's emotional and physical well-beings. It says that it can affect your overall health and behaviors, and it says that they have done studies on. I gotta read this to you. This is pretty cool. Research has shown that several species have adapted some of their biological cycles to line up with the lunar cycle, similarly to menstrual cycles in women. The reproductive cycle of marine animals, like tropical corals during full moon nights, annelid worms during the waxing moon, and the emergence of, I don't even know if I'm saying this right, midges at neap tides, is evidence of this lunar connection. A comprehensive overview of research highlights the moon's effect on biological processes across multiple species related to activity levels, feeding rituals, photosensitivity, migration, molting patterns, and more.
What site is that?
I'm going to actually send this to you guys in the chat.
But like, so we can mention it in the podcast too, like.
This is actually it's called Cleveland Clinic. And it's an article that's been posted on there since October 2022. And the title is, Does the Moon Affect Us Humans? And then underneath it says, yes, the moon and its lunar cycles can impact you, but for other reasons than you may think.
I like that. Yeah, I look forward to reading that later.
Yeah, this is really interesting. There's a lot of stuff on here. It says, our ability to regulate our emotions is dependent on our body's ability to release and suppress certain hormones at times. In some ways, you can think of hormones like switches. When one is turned on, others might flip off. Certain hormones are higher during the day when we are awake, while others are higher in the evening. Melatonin is one of those hormones that is naturally released at night to calm your body. The feel-good hormone serotonin also plays a critical role in controlling your mood and appetite. That decreases during your sleep. Interesting. It says one reason why studying this link between the lunar cycle and our ability to sleep is difficult because studies are in constant contradiction with each other. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, here it is.
Oh.
It says in that study, researchers discovered that around the full moon, people spent 30% less time in REM sleep, which is deep sleep, and slept for about 20 minutes less than when there wasn't a full moon. And those also follow with a decreased level of melatonin being produced in the body. So that explains the sleeplessness.
Yeah, and then of course the sleep affects your mood and a bunch of other things too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that make you
You,
sleepy?
you get sleepy, Weston, during your full moon, or are you more like
It's
energized?
weird. It's like I feel weak and tired, but like for the life of me, I cannot sleep. So
It's
it's like
interesting.
I'm in this like little like limbo of like I'm not really awake, but I'm not really asleep. So it's like, and I feel like on full moons, um, also, um, I tend to like pretty much what Selena said. Like I don't like. I mean, I already don't like going out as much like anymore, but like especially on full moons, like um, it's just everything is so overwhelming to me, and um, I feel like I can just feel everyone's emotion, and it's like so overwhelming, and like I never noticed it, and like I never thought anything of it until like I started getting into this stuff. Like I thought like maybe I thought that was just my anxiety and stuff, but yeah, so I tend to not drive or stay home.
I hate it. I feel on edge.
Yeah,
I'm like, I shouldn't
yeah,
be out right now.
yeah,
I
and
feel like
I'll
it's
be
a lot of
and I
It
for
illuminates
good reason.
everything within you.
Yeah,
and
because
I
then
find
I
myself
start.
pacing a lot too.
Yeah, I pace a lot too around the house.
Yeah.
I feel
Pop
very
quiz.
antsy.
Pop quiz. What's the zodiac? I saw somewhere that the statistic um for the zodiac sign that's more likely to be a murderer.
Oh, I think
Probably
that's.
Isn't it
mine.
Capricorn or something?
I think it's
I heard it was
Capricorn.
Cancer. I
Cancer.
heard it was
Okay.
Cancer because the
Ooh,
emotion.
I'm a fact
So
check
like the
I
you.
dark
think you were
side of
right.
Cancer is a lot of the dark side of the full moon energy, but it's also very caring. Like like
Mother.
how Diana or the moon's depicted to be like this nurturing source, but it's just crazy how like hearing everyone's individual experiences it wraps up into like that Cancer energy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I believe it.
This makes
They're
me
very.
want to talk. Well, first I want to ask Celeste about your full moon and new moon. Like, how does that affect you?
Um, like my full moon and new. Oh, like how because it's in Libra and I'm a Libra.
Yeah. I mean,
Or
I also feel like you didn't answer the question that everybody else answered.
I started it. I said I get really really tired on the full moons.
Okay. So how do you
But
think the full moon in Libra is going to affect you then?
I wonder because actually I feel like a lot of things are balancing out, which I think affects everybody. Like how we talked about, how you mentioned all the sign. Everybody has every aspect of the sign somehow, and whatever like moon it is, it's just gonna highlight that aspect, right? So like I feel like how I shared before, like what was going on with my work. Like I'm hoping a lot of that evens out and plays out karmically, and a lot of that balances out because Libra is also a symbol for justice and for balance. Me hating my job and like just some crazy wild stuff happens. I'm not there anymore. Like it feels like it's gonna be really chaotic in particular because it's my sign. Not only that, it's my rising and my sun. So I am curious to see how it affects me. I hope that I'm going to be more aligned after this because I felt really off balance. But also too, like I did want to like touch on the whole menstruation thing because like how you said it moves around. I think that does coincide with whatever you're manifesting. I think it's called the blood moon when you menstruate during the full moon. And then I forgot what it was called when you menstruate during the new moon. But like traditionally, I guess supposedly when you're cut off from all of the, electronics and stresses and all of that and you're in line, traditionally the new moon you would shed, the we won't get into the biology, but you would shed a certain aspect of yourself and that so then the ones that would bleed during the full moon were considered witches just because it was considered the blood moon. and having an extra
Fair.
oomph to their
That
manifestations.
ain't fair. It moves around. It's not fair.
By the way, you were correct, Celeste. It is Cancer. It goes serial killers by zodiac sign: Cancer, then Pisces, then Sagittarius, then Scorpio, then Aquarius, and then Libra, and then Capricorn.
That's crazy because
Damn.
I feel like
No,
all the
Libra
Capricorn-
before Capricorn.
Where's Aries at?
I'm gonna add it to the chat. This is on wickedlocal.com.
Wicked Local, just so we can kind of cite it. What's it titled? Like Wicked Local?
The website's wickedlocal.com, and then the the article is called Zodiac Killers. What do astrological signs and murders have to do with each other? It's very detailed. I'm like reading little bits of it, like while you guys are talking. It's pretty interesting. I would have thought Capricorn.
The crazy sign is the moon. The moon is the crazy sign.
How do you think a Cancer would like go through the process of murdering somebody?
I
Or
think
be
they
a
would.
serial killer in this
It
sense.
would be emotional.
Yeah?
It
You think
wouldn't
it
be a
would
crime
be
of
like deep
passion.
and
It would be
dirty?
premeditative.
Crime of passion for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I would
No,
say.
I just feel like killing this person is gonna be like, you hurt me, you need to die.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
could definitely see that.
They're crying while doing it.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the Cancers.
I love you, Cancers. They're also like the best, like the most nurturing, loving people. They're the ones that I think they're also the first ones to self-sacrifice. So like it kind of goes hand in hand when you give your everything in an unbalanced, unhealthy way that
It's like a
they would feel. Huh?
Like a martyr.
Yeah. Well, actually, no. Wouldn't martyr fit a Libra more into justice seeking?
Well,
Sort of.
okay, maybe I'm using the wrong term then. Somebody that gives and then just kind of like builds a resentment for how much they give and how much they take care of others. And
Maybe that is martyr, but it is very self-sacrificial.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of a new term I've learned, to be honest. So I might be using
It says martyr is a person who is killed because of their religious or other beliefs.
I feel like the Libra would be
family
That's I
dynamic.
feel like that's a better
Search
definition.
martyr family dynamic, or maybe it's not martyr.
Scapegoat?
That no
No. Else.
Life?
What?
My life? I'm just kidding.
I would say like I don't know. The best term I can come up with is self-sacrificial.
I don't know why, but this whole conversation is bringing up Queen of Cups vibes.
Cancer is a water sign, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio is the Queen of Cups, and everything you're describing is Queen of Cups. Stability, mother, nurturing, but also like on the flip side, it's what'd you say? What's the words that you used?
Oh, self-sacrificial?
Self-sacrificial, yeah.
I also think too, because it is like a sort of authority, in a sense, to have that motherly energy and the water energy. And I think also too, I think there's some sort of sense of mastery that's associated with things like royalty, like kings and queens and stuff, that I feel like the topic that we have is sort of revolving the positive aspects of Cancer and the water sign. Like it kind of makes sense. It does make sense. It is a vibe.
Yeah, so it's martyr. It's part of the 7 common dysfunctional family roles. Number one being the golden child, number 2 being the problem child, the truth teller or the rebel. This is also the black sheep. There's number 3, the scapegoat. Number 4, the caretaker, enabler, and martyr, which is typically the mother.
Wow.
There's also the lost child, martyr, but it is also the definition that you gave.
Oh.
But I think too, it helps to have the context, because it can kind of change the idea of it with context. So like traditionally, martyrs in religion would be exactly what you initially described.
Yes.
What does it mean to be a martyr in the family? It's marked by self-sacrifice and service to others at your own expense. Identifying martyr traits and tendencies can prevent burnout and stress on your relationships.
That is very, very Cancer. That is super Cancer.
Yeah.
Well, Cancer rules the moon, so
Exactly. That's what I was trying to illustrate too. Once I started, or at least what I saw when everybody described their individual experiences, it's like I'm getting a lot of Cancer vibes, low vibe and high vibe Cancer.
I think depending on what kind of full moon it is, like what sign is in it at the time, will depend on.
It's like a sauce on that energy.
Cancer full moon, like the most intense one.
Which one?
Oh yeah, remember we were at Cheyenne's when that happened. The last time it was a Cancer full moon. And it's funny, and it's probably just because of what I'm going through right now, but I felt more anxiety on that day, like the most anxiety on that day. But Cancer is more about releasing a lot of untouched emotions, because Cancers tend to have that tough shell exterior, right? Like a crab. They'll keep everything inside until they don't fit anymore, right? And when crabs start to get that little itchy feeling where they're off to a new shell, they could burst and they could be a bit snappy. You know? They're very much crabby people, you know?
The person I have in mind is my little sister. She's a middle child, and she's like the only sweet one out of all of us, the only really nice one out of all of us, and she is that martyr. And she gets a little sassy, but I can't picture her being like mean or violent. Like she gets an attitude. It's like, oh, crawled up your butt. But like the crabby, it's hard for me to see in somebody like her.
Yeah, it's hard for them to do that to family.
She's 22, 23. But then my best friend, she could be like, she crazy. Like, so I could see it with her. I was like, she look crazy. But very loving, so loving. Like, so then it's like crazy to see, like it's hard for me to see, but I know when she is like crabby, like I'm like, I'm not, you know. So it's just kind of hard for me to imagine that they are actually crabby, just because the only Cancers I know, like, I can't take them serious when they're mad, because they're nice. So like, it's like,
I agree.
I don't know.
I agree. My sister's a Cancer, and she is super nice. And when she's mad, it's I mean, like, I take her seriously, but it's definitely an emotional experience for her when she's mad. I can see that.
Yeah.
You just want to hug them.
Yeah, my experience is being emotional. They don't know how to put things in words. It just kind of comes out jumbled, different things, because they hold on to so much. So like it starts coming out very unorganized because it appears unorganized.
I used to have a best friend that was a Cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was it?
Do you remember? I don't even know if you remember them. I don't think you do. But
you don't have to say their name on here if you want to.
They're twins.
Oh shit! Really?
And one of them passed away. It was my and he was probably one of the nicest people I've ever met. But like also, he was very sensitive, and he was extremely toxic when it came to relationships.
So
like, yeah.
We'll look that up next. Most toxic zodiac sign in relationships.
Leo.
It's probably gonna be my triple Gemini ass.
Maybe Gemini's close second. I'm gonna go with Leo.
I think it was. I think I saw this before. It was Sagittarius or something.
Oh my god.
It says Gemini
I'm so cool with Sagittarius. They just.
This is really.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, it says least to most toxic. Okay, so let me go down.
That's not my experience. Sorry.
Okay, so top 5. Here's top 5. Ready?
Yeah.
This is 5 being the least, going up to 1. Okay, so Sagittarius is number 5. Known for their adventurous and free-spirited nature, but they can be quite reckless with their words and actions. Very valuable. I've been with them for 10 years, so I can attest to that. Furthermore, they often don't think through consequences of their actions, leading to more toxic behavior. Can lead to lots of damage being done. Yeah. Number 4.
Adjexes.
Aria.
Aria? She's a Sagittarius? Oh, that's so fucking cute. It's very fitting for her. She's just like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. It makes a lot of sense now. Okay, number 4 is Aries. Aries is the 4th most toxic zodiac sign. They are known for their fiery nature and competitive spirit. This can sometimes lead to toxicity. They love to just win. They can be very domineering, impulsive, and aggressive, which can lead to a lot of conflict between them and other signs. They have very strong opinions and will not hesitate to express them, even if it puts them in an unfavorable light. Furthermore, they are prone to taking things too far, which could lead to hurt feelings or bruised egos. Yeah, Aries, I feel like can take. In my experience with Aries people, I have 2 of my cousins are Aries, and one of my really close friends, Steve. Shout out to Steve. He's also an Aries and gets a lot of shit from us because he's very, 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 very sensitive and impulsive.
Oh.
Do you guys know any Aries people?
My sister, and it's actually her birthday today, but we
It's
don't get
Amara's birthday today too. How cool!
I saw, but Amara's still cute. She can get away with the sass. This lady throws knives at me, so
One of my
that's my experience with Aries. Is she chases me with knives and burns me for fun. So, and then picks fights and projects and a bunch of crazy stuff. So that's my experience.
Oh, what month is Aries again?
April and March.
Yeah, it's end of March. To April.
March 21st to April 20th.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hitler was also an Aries.
Yeah, he was born on 420, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Number 3. Woo! Number 3 is Scorpio.
I feel like Scorpio.
Scorpio and Aries versus Taurus, bro.
It says our 3rd most toxic sign is. Oh, it's giving you a heads up to the one before you. Why did you put Scorpio?
Wait, so who's the real number 3? Who's the real number 3?
Interesting. This article says number 3, Scorpio, but then it starts to describe Cancer. And then number 2 says Cancer, but it starts to describe Scorpio. So are you guys tied or what? Number 3 says, look, I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see exactly what I'm seeing.
Okay.
Tell me if you can see it.
Yeah.
You see how it says Scorpio? Our 3rd most toxic zodiac sign is Cancer.
I think they fucked up.
They fucked up. Somebody fucked up. Cancers are known for I don't know which one it is. I guess we're gonna have to just take a vote. The Cancers are known for their emotional and sensitive personalities, which we discussed. This can also be a double-edged sword. While they can be very loving and nurturing individuals, they can also bottle up their emotions and become quite moody. Yeah,
I'm gonna say they're too. I'm gonna say Cancers are number 2. The number 1 killers. Why wouldn't they be the 2nd most toxic?
That's weird.
Okay. And then it talks about Scorpio. These folks are known for their intense and passionate personalities. They can be very dominating and manipulative. They love to be in control and be very vindictive if things do not go their way. They are also incredibly secretive, which can make them hard to read and even harder to trust. In relationships, they are notoriously jealous individuals. They can be overly possessive of their loved ones, which can make things complicated in relationships. Alexa, I'm going to need to hear from you. Which parts are true, girl?
Depends on which part of me or my life we're talking about. Well, it's like, that's why I like how Celeste explains, like, signs have, like, a low vibe and a high vibe experience, you know? Because it's like, I feel like we all can have toxic tendencies, and I have recently displayed these toxic tendencies, but it's like, I'm trying to put myself in a position to where I don't have these toxic tendencies, but I view them as triggers, to be honest. As when I'm triggered, this is just the things that I do when I'm triggered or upset.
Yeah.
And it's like a matter of emotional maturity at this point.
One of my favorite Scorpios, besides you, obviously, is Drake.
He's a Scorpio?
Yeah, he's a Scorpio. He actually has an album called the Scorpion Album. I recommend checking it out. And he's literally all of these things, and he sings about all of these things too. So he's very interesting the way his personality comes up, because I think he's a triple Scorpio.
He's like a true Scorpio.
Yeah, he's a very true and blue Scorpio. Let me see Drake's birth chart. See if it'll pop up. I'm pretty sure he's like triple, double, something like that. Ooh, sheesh. Sun in Scorpio. Moon is in
That's super toxic, bro.
Scorpio, Cancer, Leo.
Sun is, oh hell!
We all knew that though.
Is Mars in Aquarius?
Bro, we all knew he was toxic.
Uranus and Sag, Neptune and Capricorn, Pluto and Scorpio. Oh, geez, look at that. Wow, explains a lot.
I'm dead.
That's so funny.
So, who's number one?
Say it with me. Say it with me. Everybody knows.
We're waiting.
It's Gemini.
Wait, what?
Wait, you said Gemini?
I was
it's
voting
Gemini,
for Leo.
yeah.
Wait,
is
so
it really?
Gemini's at the bottom of the list and the top?
I could go back to the bottom,
Because
but
I thought Gemini was at the bottom of the list.
so Gemini. So the way that they explain it, and I'll go back to the top of the article so you can say it, they're going from least worst to worst. So Gemini is the worst. So it says, drum roll please, the most toxic zodiac sign belongs to our dual-natured friends, the Geminis. As the symbol of the Gemini is the twins, their personalities can be hard to pin down. They can be the life of the party 1 minute and shower you with attention and then coldly shut you off the next. While Geminis have a lot of good qualities, like being intelligent and adaptable, their two-faced nature can be difficult to deal with sometimes. They're also notoriously gossipy and love talking about people and drama. Geminis can be fun and exciting, but just be cautious of the unhealthy ones. Their toxicity is real.
I feel like this is relevant to like more with friendships. No offense, Weston, because you did disclose you were Gemini. But I feel like it doesn't really touch the relationship aspects, like dating them. Is that something?
That's how we met, right?
I've dated now 3 Geminis. The first 2 were like that.
The most psycho one I had was a Leo. That's the most psycho. Second psycho was a Libra, actually. But I don't know. But to be fair, I think they had like very, very like hardcore bipolar disorders. So I don't know. That could just be more to do with that. But I don't know. I haven't had any bad experiences with Geminis. I haven't dated any Geminis.
Good. I'm just kidding, Weston. I'm sorry.
Can I ask you?
I've been hurt the most.
Yeah, well, Aries men in particular, I haven't mostly got along with, but again, probably just low vibe, but like they're like argumentative with me for some reason, so haven't had any of that. I don't know.
I see what you're saying now about like there being like an unelevated version of like the sign and what their toxic traits are, because I always see this one when Taurus gets talked about, when it talks about like them being possessive or too materialistic. I don't know. I feel like that hasn't been.
Well, what's your moon? Your moon is in a Taurus, right?
No, my moon is actually in Aquarius. So I'm a Taurus sun, Libra rising, Aquarius moon.
Yeah, so I feel like some of those aspects, like the ones that relate emotionally, I feel like it wouldn't resonate as much for your moon if your moons are your emotions.
Like,
so like, go ahead.
Wait, what did you mean by that? What did you mean?
So like, for instance, if like the stuff that you don't resonate with as a Taurus might be attributed to the fact that you process emotions like an Aquarius. But like, you know, they're like, that's why they talk about your big 3 because it, like, for instance, my low vibe Libra thing, the first thing that comes to mind is indecisiveness. And like, but like, I'm also not as considerate of like, I don't like conflict, but I'm not afraid of it. And I feel like that's something that Aries moon can kind of grants me because my moon is in Aries. So I feel like I don't really process it like a Libra where I'm like too non-confrontational. So I feel like that's kind of where the big three, this is like one of those examples of why you might not resonate fully with the sign. So that's worth considering too, because it says that like, oh, Libras are like hopeless romantic. They always want to be in a relationship, and yeah, it'd be nice, but like I'm not like hung up on it, and I'm also like conflict is like if it's necessary, and that's very un-Libra. But that's very Aries.
That's a very air sign thing to say. Yeah, that's a very air sign response.
What if we also based our toxicity in relationships based off of our Venus and or Mars signs?
Oh, I'm super stoked about that. What is your Venus?
My Venus is in Scorpio.
Ooh.
I think. Let me double check.
Sexy.
Mine's in Cancer.
Is it Cancer? Well, your Venus in Cancer, does that make you toxic? Is Weston toxic?
Probably.
No, it just means I could tell you what it means if you'd like.
Oh, do you have like a little thing pulled up?
I mean, I could pull it up, but from most of my knowledge is in my noggin from what I've learned about Venus signs.
Check the noggin.
So what's yours, Brittnee? What's your Venus?
My Venus is in Libra.
Interesting. I'm so intrigued by you guys.
Yeah, my Venus is in Scorpio.
Study you guys.
What's yours? What's yours, Sally?
Mine is the most rose-colored glasses sign it could be in. Can take a guess. Think
Aquarius?
dreamy. Just think dreamy.
Aquarius?
No.
Dreamy, that's the first thing that comes to my mind.
Think like very like fairy tale love. Life.
Oh, Pisces?
Yeah, Pisces. Alexa's face.
I was like, no wonder I couldn't figure it out because I'm trying to read this thing that I have with all the signs there. Pisces is unreadable. I couldn't read it.
Yeah, mine. I struggle. When I started learning about how Venus, affects like your relationships and love and the way you perceive love and take love, I was having a really hard time with Pisces because it could be very unrealistic, and my Taurus brain, like part of myself, needs like concrete things. But then like my Pisces Venus, I was like, who cares? Like I just go off the feeling.
Reality. Yeah, I want to be free. And then you're like, but we have to be, where are we? You're like, I don't know.
Yeah, where are we? Yeah, like where are we? And then another part, and then my Aquarius and like Libra side come out, like my air sign is kind of like, who gives a fuck? Legit, what is monogamy?
Crazy dad trying to follow all these people around, like this crazy parent trying to follow this like crazy aspects of herself.
That's literally what it feels like. I feel like keep all those parts of myself in check because there's this Pisces aspect of mine and I feel like it coincides with my Taurus where like we want the family, we want the house and the marriage, and then we want all those beautiful things, and that foundation is like super important for Taurus. And then Pisces just wants to be in love, and they want all that romance, and they want that intensity, and they want that dreamy aspect when it comes to being in love, and they love that feeling, and they love love. But like I think my air sign is kind of like, sometimes it's just who needs a relationship?
Fuck it.
Fuck it. Life's too short. So it's very conflicting, definitely. But for a Cancer Venus, the way that you guys show love is through acts of service. So again, thinking of like a crab. A crab is the constructor of its home and its world around it. It dominates the shore that's between land and sea. So you tend to multitask in order to please your lover or to impress them or to make them feel comfortable in some sort of way. The more things that you can take on usually are kind of things that are really easy for you to pick up on your own. Even if you don't know how to do it, you'll just figure it out if that means that it's going to ease your partner's stress a little bit more. So you'll cook, you'll clean, you'll fix up things around the house. Cancer Venus people, I think, are very versatile when it comes to providing and giving what their partner needs. whether it be emotionally or something physically or an act of some sort. You guys are very sweet people, and I love that about you. It's very tough because that is something that like you would do, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can look up anything else about a Cancer in Venus. Bless you.
We're almost to an hour.
Yeah. Venus in Cancer. Emotional sensitivity can make them intuitive and caring partners, but also leaves them vulnerable to feeling hurt, perhaps especially over an unintended slight. A Cancer Venus requires loyalty and affirmation in all relationships, romantic and platonic. Yeah. So you don't ask for much in return, you know?
Yeah.
Give more than you do receive, just like we said earlier. And that can make you go crazy sometimes. So you got to keep balance, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And then for Scorpio and Venus people, from what I've read, you guys are very hands-on lovers. Like physical touch is your love language. It could be like massaging your partner, just kind of running your fingers through their hair, just touching them all over. I do think that Scorpios are also good for intense conversation. Like you guys are able to, I think, study your partner to a point where you're able to have a better sense of what their needs are maybe before they do. You guys are very intuitive people, so you can kind of pick up on how they're feeling over the phone or when they come home from work, what day they kind of had. And I don't think I know anybody who has a Scorpio and Venus like you. So I have a lot of questions for you, actually. I know that you did your love language test in Slack, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go check it out.
You were right, Allie. You were right.
I was right?
I think so. I remember seeing that.
But what?
About what you voted on? I could have sworn I saw your response. On your love language.
Where did you find it? Or
on the poll under Meet the Team.
Okay, under Meet the Team.
Oh no, you didn't.
You didn't?
No, she didn't.
No. I sent it to you through text message.
Oh, that's right. You did. Okay.
That was a while ago,
oh,
bro.
Damn. I must have saw theirs then.
Search in conversation.
I thought I saw yours on there, Alexa.
What would you think her predominant?
I thought hers was touch.
Is she right?
No.
She's wrong.
Wait.
Hey.
Mine says honestly, it was really hard for me to take the test at that time.
Should we do it? But yours was words of affirmation at first.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I guess I'll retake it right now.
It says Scorpio and Venus women tend to shortchange themselves. They tend to be people who pride themselves on not asking for much if they want much. Loving a Venus Scorpio is about loving the tease. It's about giving a little, just enough to whet the appetite because it's overwhelming to give all at once. Scorpio women are attracted to a lover who is strong and as ardent as they are. They are afraid. Let me see. They are afraid of what? They're afraid of something going wrong, but if you can give them your trust and loyalty, you receive nothing other than complete devotion from a Scorpio Venus woman.
Oh,
I love that. And then every time I think of Libra, I just think like balance. It's hard not to.
really scale.
But this one
says, it's also another Venetian sign.
Yeah, like Libra rules Venus. So, it says the women of Venus in Libra are very balanced and seek a personal and professional balance in their lives. Comfort, a sensation of practicality, and a certain attraction to natural beauty are the highlights of their personality. They are very well-rounded, and romance is important to them as they tend to lean towards candlelit dinners, flowers, cuddling in front of a fireplace. The Venus in Libra male is attracted to women who are sophisticated but not stuck up or pretentious. Libra male may want to be with a woman with grace, charm, and beauty.
Cute.
Interesting. It says features of a Libra woman could have wide set eyes, dazzling smile, often dimples that define Libras. You have dimples, Brittnee.
I have one.
You do. It's so cute.
Thank you.
People with this placement look beautiful in shades of rose, blush, be it on the lips or cheeks.
I do like pink.
Mm-hmm. You're flirtatious, charming, and have a fun personality.
Ooh. I like Libra, but maybe that's bias.
I like Libras too. But that's biased of me too.
She's like, as a Venetian.
My Venus sister.
I want to hear yours.
Oh, my Pisces? It's not that exciting, but we'll see.
You're only saying that because it's yours.
We're like fairy tales and princesses.
Can I be honest? It's because it's unrealistic, and I just feel like it's gotten me into a lot of trouble in my love life.
I want to hear it too, to be honest. Sorry.
Oh, it's already to a bad start. Okay, it says, a Venus Pisces woman might struggle with her own addictions, escapism, fantasies, self-sacrifice, and overgiving her energy. All of these can lead her to lose herself in love because she cares so much and feels so deeply. She wants to take care of everybody, even if they aren't ready to receive that love. Yikes. Sounds draining already. Venus Pisces women are often attracted to a partner who needs guidance or who suffers from some sort of affliction. He or she is sweet and sensitive towards the loved one and is often taken advantage by unscrupulous partners. That's a new word. What is that?
Unscrupulous?
Having or showing no moral principles, not honest or fair.
Aww. That makes me want to give you a hug.
Please. Like, I'll take all the hugs I can get.
It's good to be mindful of it.
Yeah. Pisces lovers normally are willing to please. They're highly romantic and emotional. Oops, I didn't mean to open that. But also a bit shy and withdrawn. They act almost like chameleons, and it's sometimes difficult to pin down their thoughts or desires. I agree with that.
Is that like another way of saying like people-pleasing tendencies? Like, you put your past?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's because like I like to make people feel good about themselves. So,
which is beautiful, but with balance.
Yeah. So basically we're susceptible to neglectful or narcissistic partners, or we want to rescue people often. So I do struggle with that. That's why I don't get too excited to talk about it. But when I started learning about it, I started to notice those things about myself. And oh, that's our timer. We've hit an hour, just so you know.
Okay. Well, I would like for you to I want to hear the rest of your thought at least.
Yeah, of course. It was something that was really hard to swallow. But I think once I like read it out and I started actually reading my birth chart and how my Pisces Venus affects me, I started to see where all of those things take play in my life and in my relationships. And these are actually the areas where I'm having the most trouble. So it's helped me combat it in a way. It is something that like I notice now I naturally do, but then now that I know, I have kind of like that little ding that comes up in my head that's like, hey, remember, we're not people pleasing. We're not Captain Save a Ho. Like, we're not we're not going to be saving people, like I'm starting to realize that same energy that I was applying outward, I'm trying to use it inward and elevate the Pisces in a way. Because Pisces I think the beauty in a Pisces and Venus throughout all this negativity that surrounds it, or maybe the trouble that comes with it, is that it's very optimistic in a way. I think that Pisces' ability to see through people and see that everyone has the option to be saved is beautiful, because not everyone can see everybody that way, in my opinion. So I try to turn, like a negative into a positive.
And I think SafeSpace is a really good example of that.
Yeah, thanks. I like that. You're absolutely right.
Channeling love into SafeSpace.
SafeSpace.
SafeSpace. That said, I mean, since we did hit the hour mark, I did kind of just want to summarize. I love how our topics kind of flowed, where we began talking about like the new moon, which is pretty much what we wanted to talk about today, but more so that it's in Libra. And I think the Venetian energy and the Cancer energy are two of those pretty big, or it's associated with Cancer, but I think the Venetian energy is a really heavy influence this time around. And I think it's great that you brought it up in all of us, and I'm sure that affects each of us very differently this full moon. And that's sort of my concluding thought. And yeah, I don't know, anybody else have any concluding thoughts?
I do. Actually, I did want to touch base that so it looks like this Libra full moon is going to be highlighting our relationships, internal and external, with people. So yes, that means we are going to come to a balance. There's going to be realizations about a lot of things. It says here that we're going to be revealed partners or partnerships that have maybe tipped the scales for us. So I think realizing those things that are tipping the scale is going to help bring the balance. So I'm excited for it. It's gonna be good things coming our way.
I agree.
Definitely.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for joining us here, SafeSpace Podcast.
Same time next week.
Same time next week.
We send you love and light.
Love and light. SafeSpace.
SafeSpace.
Oh no! It's the Venetian.
Everybody, put your hand in on
my Venus sister.
SafeSpace.
SafeSpace.
1, 2, 3.
SafeSpace.
Oh
Good
my
night,
god.
everyone.
Me and Mary SafeSpace.
Bye.
That wasn't planned, by the way.
That was not planned.
Oh no.
Are we still live? Are we in the free and clear?